a minute. Okay, that would work if I put hello, huh? If I unmute myself, let's see here. Yeah, okay. So how are you today? Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, how are you today? I'm sorry, I'm running a little late.
I'm fine in
That's
yourself.
all right. Um,
That's good to hear.
what did I do? Oh, shoot. I put it down somewhere. Oh, Lord. Okay. I'll see if I can survive it without using it. Okay. All right. So let me go into, let me pull up our book over here real quick. And I'm going to play some music for a second while I get myself together. Okay. So, with me being, can you still see me? Can you hear me? Is that what I want? Let's see. Is this what I want? Yeah. Okay. So let's go to chapter 5. But before we do this, before we get into this, we'll get to chapter 5. Um, I want the answers. Chapter 5. Okay. Let me pull this up as far as I can get it. Okay, right here. Okay. Let's see if it'll stay. We're on chapter 5. Okay, so let's go back over here.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Um,
Fine.
can
You
you
hear some
let me
noise
ask you
in the background, just gonna try to block it out, but unfortunately I can't. They have a family gathering going on outside.
that's all right, because you know
So
what?
just record it.
You know what? My husband's working in the kitchen, so don't feel bad. So if you hear air compressors and hammering stuff, it's because he's in the kitchen.
I can't
Okay.
hear your voice echoing, Mr. Lee.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Your voice echoing.
I don't know why.
It's
Do you have me on speaker?
yeah, I can hear you, but it's going in and out.
Okay. Can you hear me now? It might be just my mic.
I have my headphones on.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, before we get started, I'm gonna play a little bit of music, put a little music in your soul for a minute. Okay. I'm gonna come off the screen for just a
Yes,
second.
ma'am.
I heard you say you're tired, like every color is drained away. Mornings feel like mountains, even breathing feels like weight. I know that kind of quiet, where every thought cuts to the bone. But you are not your worst days. You're more than what your head has shown. You have so much to live for, more than you can see tonight. There are laughs you haven't laughed yet, hands you haven't held that tight. You have so much to live for, even if you can't believe. So when you feel like letting go, lean on me and stay. stranger who might turn into a friend. A song you'll write at midnight that you'll never want to end. A road you haven't driven, where the rain lets down its guard. A day you'll finally tell yourself, I made it this far. That's hard. You have so much to live for, more than you can see tonight. There are lives you haven't laughed yet, hands you haven't held that tight. You have so much to live for, even if you can't believe. So when you feel like letting go, lean on me and stay and breathe. You don't have to be the strongest. You just have to stay one more day. We can sit here in the silence till the dark gets bored and fades away. You have so much to live for, more than you can feel right now. There are tears that turn to smiling. You'll get through this storm somehow. You have so much to live for, even if you can't believe. So when you think it's all been said, I'll be here. Just stay and breathe.
I am back. Thank you guys. I just need that motivation song for a minute there. That's my motivation song. Um, anyway, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another class of the Legacy Liftoff, or another part of the Legacy Liftoff. We have been doing so well in this class. I want to welcome Miss Dixon for showing up so far. Miss Dixon's gonna be here. That's what I love about me, Miss Dixon. Miss Dixon said, "I'm gonna show up, rain, sleet, or shine. I'm gonna be here." Um, so Miss Dixon, before we get started, you want to go ahead and read your homework to me? Miss Dixon. She might not can. Let's see. Did you hear me, Miss Dixon? Miss
Now,
Dixon. Okay, there you go. I said, did you want to go ahead and read your
can you hear me,
homework?
Mr. Lee?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Repeat that
I can.
again.
I said, you
Repeat
want to
that
go ahead?
again.
Okay. You want to go ahead and talk about your homework real quick?
I studied. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So you want first?
Yeah, we start chapter 1 and then 2 and 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Bell.
It asks the question, how do you currently respond? How do I currently respond to stress?
Mm-hmm.
I do meditation, prayer, and music. Conflict, I don't, depending on the situation, I don't. Disappointment, by letting a person know how I feel. That's how I deal with that.
Okay.
Okay, X, which emotions do you struggle with? Okay, and I have no shame. If I had shame, I wouldn't be here sitting talking with you now. Sadness, I would say it depends on the situation.
Okay.
As far as myself, I would say zero. My anxiety is always on.
Okay. Hello, Miss Francesca. It
Hey,
has been
Selena, how you
ages.
doing?
Wait a minute, Miss Dixon. I'm sorry, sweetie. Give me 1 second, Miss Dixon. Hello, Miss Francis. It's been ages since we've talked.
Yes, ma'am, it has been. How have you been?
I've been doing great, and you guys, this was one of our original rollers. She rolled with us from the get go when Can We Be Frank first started out.
Yes,
She
ma'am.
did.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we were in the middle of going over our homework. Miss Dixon is telling us her answers to a workbook, and I will be getting that with you. I think, yeah, I'll get the workbook to you. So we're on chapter 5, but she's going over her homework with us from chapters 1, 2, and 3 real quick. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'll get you the workbook and the ebook because we're on chapter 5 now. So we got a couple of
Okay.
more chapters to go before we finish with this book. And then I'll get you a copy of the new ebook once we finish with this
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
one. You're welcome.
All
Okay, go
right.
ahead, Miss Dixon. You there, Miss Dixon? Okay. I have to wait till she get in. Miss Dixon. Anybody? Okay. While I'm waiting for Miss Dixon to come back in, Miss Bell,
Yes, ma'am.
did you do any of your homework for chapters 1, 2, and 3?
Some of it.
Okay. Miss Dixon was going over her chapter 1, but you want to go ahead and get yours when she come back in. You want to
Sure.
give us answers for chapters 1?
Yeah, I have a few of those.
Okay.
Understanding emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do I currently respond to stress, conflict, or disappointment? Basically, I would kind of shut down.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um, that's the gist of it. Just shut down until I, go over everything that has happened.
Okay. Okay.
Um, which emotion do I struggle with?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that would be anger
Okay.
and also a little anxiety.
Okay.
My emotional awareness scale from 1 to 10, understanding my emotions, I rate a 9.
Okay.
Controlling emotions, reactions, 9.
Okay.
Empathy towards others, 7. Healthy communication, 9.
Okay.
Um, Describe a recent emotional reaction you wish you had handled differently. That was my anger. That was about 3 weeks ago. Mm, what emotional patterns keep repeating in my life is disappointments,
Okay.
situations that
I got
trigger.
kicked out again. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
she go ahead.
You was ready to get off, Miss Bell, huh? You ain't want talking no more, huh?
Well, hey, she started.
You
I want her to finish.
okay, go.
Ma'am,
Okay, yeah. Can you hear us?
barely, but I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So what while you were gone, Miss Bell was giving us her answers. So she's like, she happy you came back so she don't have to give the more answers.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm. Oh,
So why y'all got to put me at the center of attention?
Well, see, when I came on, you were going through, and then you went out, and then I started for a little bit, but you're back, and I want you to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
well,
Oh, okay.
okay. First of all, before you do that, Miss Dixon, I want Miss Kelly. I call her name is Frances. I call all three of her names. But Miss Kelly, I want you to introduce yourself to our little group here. Okay, first and foremost.
Okay, I can do that. So, my name is Francesca Kelly, and Salida and I have been um, friends for, oh my goodness, such a long time. I can't even remember, but we go way back. I was on the show when she hosted the Can We Be Frank show. So we have such a long history. I lived in Las Vegas for about 12 years, but I currently reside in Dallas, Texas. I grew up in Lake Providence, Louisiana, which was probably about an hour. Well, no, about 2 hours, right, Selena? About two
Yeah.
hours from Alexandria. So it's a pleasure to be here. I try to support Salida in everything that she does. She know I love her. That's my sis. I don't care what nobody says. So it's good to be here.
Oh, great, great, great. Now, Miss Bell and Miss Latasha, introduce yourself to Miss Kelly.
How you doing,
Anybody?
Miss Kelly? My name is Latasha Dixon. I'm from born and raised in Alexandria, Louisiana, and it's nice meeting you.
You too.
Hi, Miss Kelly. My name is Linda Bell. I'm originally from Vidalia, been in Alexandria for 20 years, um, 20 plus years. And I didn't hear your introduction, but it's nice to nice to hear what I heard. And I'm glad you're here.
Oh, you
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
guys are so sweet. That's why I love you guys. Despite everything, I love you guys because you guys are so sweet. So let's get back over here to Miss Dixon. Again, everybody, welcome. If you guys go in and out, that's fine. You know, we do that all the time. So Miss Dixon, go ahead and finish your part, and then I want before we even get into chapter 5, then I want Miss Bell to finish up hers.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Dixon. She must be going in and out. Miss Dixon. No.
You want me to finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, like I
Okay, hold.
always say,
Miss Dixon, we can't hear you. She must be. We can't hear.
I,
Miss Dixon, you keep going in and
I
out.
thought you were saying something.
That yeah, that's fine. No, 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 no.
I'm
We're waiting
going in
on
and
you.
out still.
But you know what? So is Miss
Oh,
Francesca. She's
okay.
saying so.
Uh,
Everybody's kind of doing that. That's fine.
okay. Far as disappointment,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's just me. Um, which emotions do I struggle to understand? I would say fear.
Okay.
Uh, and shame. I have no shame because if I was shame, I wouldn't be here sharing with you ladies
Okay.
my experiences. Uh, I don't have any sadness.
Mhm.
Um, only about certain situations. So I
Mhm.
would say that it's about a five. Anxiety 10. Uh, 0 because I don't uh, worry about rejection.
Mhm. Okay.
I expect, you know, people to be who they are. Be speaking about people
Mhm. Gotcha. Okay.
and understanding my emotions.
Mhm.
Uh, I would say about a five, about a five.
Okay.
Uh, emotional reaction, I'm still learning.
Mhm.
Empathy towards others, that's a 10. I'm always feeling sorry for other people and
Mhm.
uh falling. Yeah, that's about a 10. Healthy communication. Hmm. I would say with me, I'm at a 10 because I tell people exactly how I feel. Now, on their end, I don't know. I'm on my end. It's a describe a recent emotions, emotional reaction. I wish I had handled differently. I don't have one at the moment. Uh,
Okay.
and it says, what emotional patterns keep repeating in my life? Grief.
Okay.
What situation trigger my emotions and discomfort for me? I'm still learning. But I will say when people lie and they're not honest to me.
Mhm.
And I don't wear a mask. You get what you see is what you get. What you hear, this is me, my authentic self. So I'm not gonna hide behind a mask. What you see and what you hear, this is me.
Okay.
Okay. And let me find you. Okay, and it say we on daily self-awareness, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. That would be it's a situation, taking care
Mhm.
of myself. Um, emotion I feel a lot of time. Uh, anger, I would say. And why? Because people they don't do their job and the stupid stuff that they do.
Mhm.
Um, the stupid stuff they do when I go to these places, it irks my nerve.
Okay.
Some of them are racist, and they try to make me feel like, you know, what's going on is not going on in you. I know doggone well it's going on.
Mhm.
Okay, and now we're you chapter Okay. What was after that? Okay. And the next one was the developing self-regulation, right? Chapter.
Yeah, self-regulation,
Okay.
chapter 2
Yeah.
or chapter 3.
It's, yeah, that's where I'm at, chapter 3.
Okay.
Okay. It said um regulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pause before reacting exercise. It said what happened.
Okay.
I felt calmer after and before. What emotion took over? Anger or stupidity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would a regular regulated response look like? That was the question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think the way I responded at the moment.
Okay.
And emotional reset techniques. It's not one that I want to practice because I already do them.
Uh-huh. So it's just
Yeah, the
something that.
deep breathing, the
Mm-hmm.
deep breathing. I walk away temporarily. I journal already. I pray and meditate. I count before I respond if something upsets me, and I
Mm-hmm.
always talk to myself. Uh, so it's not one that I want to practice.
Okay.
I'm already doing all that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it said weekly regulation challenge.
Okay.
Okay, I will pause more before I just respond to stressful situations.
Okay. Okay. Is that it?
Yeah,
Miss
that's
Nation?
it.
Okay.
Unless we
Good job.
go, unless we're going on.
Good job. That's good. That you did it. I am so proud of you. Now, Miss Bell, where you at? Are you there, Miss Bell? Oh, she had to go out. Okay. There she go. Are you there, Miss Bell?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I stopped at emotional awareness
Okay.
and um like I said, understanding my emotions and controlling my emotions reactions are both nines. Empathy toward others was 7. Healthy communication, I think it was 9.
Mhm.
And journal prompt, describe an emotional reaction you wish you had handled different, was anger.
Mhm.
Chapter 2, mirror reflection activity. What emotional patterns keep repeating in your life?
Mhm.
Um, I don't have an answer for that, but situations that trigger my emotional discomfort is when a person stands in front of me and lie to my face.
Mhm.
Okay. Who am I beneath the mask? Sometimes I do wear a mask. I
Mhm.
pretend I'm okay when I think I'm lost.
Okay.
Um, I fear people when they discover my weakness.
Okay.
Uh, Miss McCall, what's so funny? Okay.
Nothing.
I feel strongest when I think I'm in control. I feel emotionally safe when I'm alone. Um, Daily self awareness tracker. I didn't complete that because I didn't.
You hadn't started it.
Yeah.
You hadn't done it. Okay, I got you.
Chapter 3. Think about a moment when your emotions controlled your response. What happened? It was a big argument. What emotion took over? Anger. And then afterwards, I was disappointed. And
Okay.
what would regulate response have? What a regulated response would have looked like? Not to engage.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Emotional reset techniques. I do all of those. Um, every last one of them. I do those.
Okay.
Um, Weekly regulation challenges. Every morning I get up and my affirmation is I pause and I ask God, what do I need to work on today?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's it.
Oh wow. You guys, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you guys. Y'all did an excellent job. Miss Francisca, I'm sending you right now the ebook and the workbook real quick so you can catch up with everybody else. I'm having to look at, let me see. I'm looking
Okay.
for the book, the ebook now. Give me one
Okay.
second
All right.
and pull it up. You guys did so good. I am so proud of you. So next, who wants to start reading? Who can pull it up first and foremost? Who can pull it up and can see it without being on the screen, or do you have to go by the screen? Anybody?
I can
Can
see
you?
it. You just need to blow it up a little bit more.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me. I'm trying to get her the book. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay. Let me know when you get it. Let's see. Ebook. Okay. I just sent it to you. So just let me know when you get it. Okay. So let's go over here. Okay. Um. No. Let me see if I can put it up. Can you see that? Is that too big? I can. That's too big for me because I can't get it on the screen.
No, ma'am, it's all right.
Okay. There we go.
Cultivating relationship management skills.
Okay.
Building healthy relationships. Building healthy relationships is essential for fostering emotional intelligence and resilience. It brings it brings with self-awareness where recognizing our own emotions and how they affect our interactions with others is crucial. By understanding our feelings, we can communicate more effectively and establish deeper connections with those around us. This self-awareness lays the groundwork for empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Active listening plays a pivotal role in building strong relationships. It involves fully go down some so I can see that word fully
Okay. Okay. Concentrating.
concentrating on what is being said rather than merely hearing the words. This kind of attentive engagement allows us to
Respond thoughtfully.
the screen spinning, the
Okay. Can you?
emotions.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it now. Emotions of others, creating of trust and safely within the relationship. When individuals feel heard and understood, they are more likely to open up and share their thoughts and feelings, enhancing the relationship further.
Now, stop right there before we go any further. So, last week, well, that was Wednesday, we had a great conversation about active listening. Did anybody active listening this week with any conversations y'all had?
I did.
Okay. What about you, Miss Bell? Let me see. Did she have to? Okay. Miss Bell had to go out and come back in. Miss
You were
Bell.
speaking to me?
No, I was trying to. Miss
Oh,
Bell.
shoot.
Okay, hold up. Let me see.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Kathy's in the house too. Oh, she said she didn't this week. She didn't get her active listening in this week. Oh, okay. Here come Miss Bell again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we hear you.
I have to go in and out. I
I
didn't
know.
I
I
didn't
said,
hear any of Miss
okay.
Dixon reading, so I had to go in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry y'all having this problem. I definitely need to hit up StreamYard and find out what's going on. Um, so I asked the question, did anybody active listening? And doggone Kathy talking about no.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So last week we had a big joke about active listening. And so I told them this week they have to find out if they're going to be active listening this week. So obviously we had one joker, which was Kathy, that didn't active listen this week. But that's all right. That's cool. That's cool. That's all right. So so that's what that was the big joke about. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and let her finish reading. Hold up. Okay, here we go. Okay, go ahead, Miss Dixon. You there, Miss Dixon?
I'm still here.
Okay, waiting for you to read.
You got to go up some. Okay.
I got you.
Setting healthy boundaries is another key component
Keep going.
again.
Huh?
Help define not ensure that both parties feel respected and valued. Communicating these boundaries effectively yet kindly can prevent misunderstanding and resentment from building up. Healthy relationships thrive when both individuals feel comfortable expressing their needs and limits without fear of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Practicing mindfulness within relationship enhances emotional connection and reduces stress. Encourages us to be present in the moment, allowing us to appreciate our fully. This practice can lead to more meaningful conversations by being
You still there? Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I'm back. I had got kicked out again.
I wonder why it's doing
Okay.
that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Where did I leave off at? Ultimately, building healthy relationships requires ongoing effort and commitment. It is a dynamic process that involves continuous learning, self-reflection, and adaptation. As we develop our emotional intelligence, we become better equipped to nurture our relationships, leading to more fulfilling connections. Investing time in these relationships not only enhances our personal lives, but also contributes to our overall well-being and resilience in the face of life's challenges.
Okay. All right.
Effective communication techniques.
I'm gonna let Miss Bell read that. But before we go down, let's go back up here. Did you see how practicing mindfulness within relationships enhances emotional connection and reduce stress? So that's not only just in your relationship with each other. I mean, talking about relationships as far as your family and your loved one, but I'm talking about relationships between like what we do here. We could practice mindfulness in here. We, as a matter of fact, during the first Monday, we definitely do the mindfulness. We did a whole routine with mindfulness before we got it started. So it opens up and it gives us, it makes us comfortable to talk about anything that we need to talk about within the group. And the thing is, I love the idea that we're a small group. It's not 15 of us in here. I love that. I love that because you guys have to be comfortable with each other first and foremost. So if this group grows and grows and grows, I know that I would have to break the groups up because I don't want you guys to feel uncomfortable with a lot of people. I just don't want that happening because I know how it is when you are in a large group. Sometimes it's not that you feel like you're being ignored, okay? It's not like you're feeling like you're being ignored. It's just the ideal that sometimes um you might feel like you're being missed out on. You know what I'm saying? So I like the ideal that it's, I'm glad you do, Miss Kathy, that it's just us in a sense. Um, and five on average is about 5 or 6 of us in here on average. And I like that because I want you guys to be familiar with each other and get comfortable with each other. And to me that means a lot to me. Um, and I know me. We're all learning. It might be because okay. All of us are in a learning process. So we're learning from each other and we can take tips from each other on how we can deal with everyday life because we're not doing all this all at the same time. It's not happening all at the same time. And so you might say something that, I never thought to do. Okay, let me try that. Or I might say something that you never thought to do. Um, Earlier, I had a conversation with Miss Shamir, and me and Miss Shamir has been having some deep conversations about some stuff that's been going on. I'm sorry you keep getting kicked. I'm sorry you keep getting kicked out. So with me and Miss Shamir's conversation, she's getting a lot out of it that she's not able. She's not here today because you guys, she lost somebody in her family. But I'm able to. Me and her are able to talk because I'm learning from her and she's learning from me, and that's a one-on-one kind of conversations we're having. But overall, we're learning. It's a whole thing, and you guys know she shared several things in our groups, and so we were kind of elaborating on some of the things that she learned in here, and then some of the things that she shared in the group. So that's the reason why I think it's so important that we stay small. Um, I was just telling them, Miss Kelly, that our groups are small. Like at on average, is about 5 of us in this group and we
Okay,
like it that way because it's more intimate and we get to learn each other. We learn
absolutely,
their personalities and everything, so we kind of like it like that. That's why when I say
absolutely.
we have some fun, we have fun over here because I have a bunch of jokers in this group. Okay,
That's all right with me.
so Miss Bell, you can go ahead and start reading about communication.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Effective communication techniques. Effective communication is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, allowing individuals to navigate interpersonal relationships with greater ease. Adult learners often face unique challenges in communication stemming from both personal and professional environments. By honing effective communication skills, individuals can express their thoughts and feelings more clearly and empathetically. This not only enhances personal relationships, but also fosters a more supportive workplace culture. One of the most vital techniques in effective communication is active listening. Okay. This involves fully engaging with the speaker, demonstrating genuine interest in their words, and responding appropriately. That means you're keeping eye to eye contact. Okay. All
Uh-huh.
right. Adult learners can practice active listening by maintaining eye contact,
Uh-huh.
nodding, and summarizing what has been said to ensure understanding. This
Mhm.
technique encourages deeper connections and helps to validate the speaker's feelings, paving the way for more meaningful interaction.
Mhm.
Okay. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nonverbal communication also plays a crucial role in conveying messages. Body language, facial expressions, and gestures often communicate more than words themselves. Adult learners should be aware of their own nonverbal cues as well as those of others. By aligning verbal and nonverbal communication, individuals can enhance clarity and reduce the risk of misunderstandings, which is essential in both personal and professional settings. Furthermore, assertiveness is an important skill in effective communication. This involves expressing one's thoughts and feelings openly and honestly while respecting others' viewpoints. Adult learners can benefit from practicing assertiveness by using I statements to convey their feelings without placing blame. This approach fosters a respectful dialogue and encourages others to share their perspectives, thereby enhancing overall communication dynamics. Lastly, mindfulness can significantly improve communication skills by promoting a greater awareness of emotions and reactions in conversations. Adult learners who practice mindfulness can approach discussions with a calm and focused mindset, reducing the likelihood of emotional triggers that lead to conflict. By integrating mindfulness techniques into daily interactions, individuals can cultivate a more resilient communication style that enhances their relationship and overall emotional intelligence.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's go back. So let's go back. Before we get to conflict resolution, Miss Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so did you get the ebook?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, so in a few minutes, I'm gonna want you to read this. So, Miss Bell, I want you to sum up what you just said, what you just read.
Uh, Effective communication, you have to have active listening. You have to pay attention to what that person's saying, and then after the conversation, ask questions back or relating to the conversation that you had. You have to be listening,
Mm-hmm.
um, to what communication is the key, basically.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Miss Dixon, what did
Yeah,
you get out of that?
I agree. Same thing Miss Bell just got. Um,
Okay.
you have to be actively listening when to the speaker, or whenever it's time is, you having a conversation with someone,
Mm-hmm.
or things will go left, so you can have a better understanding of, where that person is coming from.
Okay. Awesome. 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 I love that. I love that. So, that means not only the speaker, like someone who's speaking at the front of it, but the conversation you're having with the person. Like if you and Miss Linda was talking, that she would be considered the speaker if you were the one who's listening. All right, am I right?
Right.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
cool. Okay, so Miss Francesca, can you start with conflict resolution strategies?
Give me just one moment. I am trying to pull it up on my computer because I have you guys on my iPhone. So give me
Gotcha,
just one moment.
gotcha.
Right. Everything is running so slow today. I don't know. We're in the middle of a thunderstorm, so.
Oh, that yeah, you know what? And the weather has been off and on all day today. So
Mm-hmm.
that could be and it was like that Wednesday night too, y'all remember?
Yes,
It's
Yes,
ma'am.
it's like we keep getting this
Yes,
bad
ma'am.
weather.
It was. It was horrible.
Yeah, so look, you're not gonna stop us from doing our class, okay? I'm just letting you know. Whoever
absolutely not.
messing with the weather.
The devil is a lie.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go. You're a liar.
Yes.
That's a bar class. I don't
So
care what you say.
absolutely. So okay. So we're on chapter 6, correct?
No, chapter 5.
Oh, chapter 5. Okay.
Uh-huh. Chapter 5, where it says conflict resolution strategy.
Probably can get to it because my computer, I don't know what's going on with it. Oh, okay.
Just take your
It's
time.
pulling up everything but what I wanted to. Now that's what frustrates me, technology. All right, chapter 5. Let's see here. All right, chapter 3, 4, and 5. So it what is the topic?
Conflict resolution strategies.
Conflict resolution, okay. Effective communication. Okay, so it says conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction, and learning how to navigate these situations effectively is crucial for personal growth. Conflict resolution strategies empower individuals to address disagreements constructively, fostering healthier relationships and enhancing emotional intelligence. By understanding the root causes of conflict, individuals can approach situations with empathy and desire to find common ground, rather than reacting defensively or aggressively. One effective strategy is active listening, which involves fully concentrating, understanding, and responding thoughtfully to the speaker. This practice encourages open dialogue and helps to diminish misunderstandings. When individuals feel heard, they are more likely to engage in a collaborative problem solving process. By validating each other's feelings and perspectives, the emotional climate becomes more conducive to resolving the issues at hand. You want me to continue?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay. Another vital strategy is the use of I statements, which promote personal accountability and reduce defensiveness in conversations. Instead of saying, "You always interrupt me," one might say, "I feel overlooked when my thoughts are not acknowledged." This approach shifts the focus from blame to personal experience, allowing for a more productive discussion. It encourages a mutual understanding and creates space for finding solutions rather than escalating conflict. Mindfulness plays an essential role in conflict resolution as it helps individuals remain calm and present during heated discussions. Practicing mindfulness can allow one to observe their thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Techniques such as deep breathing or pausing before responding can shift the focus from reactive behavior to thoughtful engagement, making it easier to approach conflicts with clarity and composure. Ultimately, developing conflict resolution skills is a journey towards greater emotional intelligence and resilience. By implementing these strategies, Individuals can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. This not only enhances interpersonal relationships, but also contributes to one's overall emotional well being and capacity to cope with life's challenges.
Okay. So now let's talk about conflict resolution. I don't even remember what all they said most times because they talk too long.
Right.
Oh, Kathy, not you. No, I'm reading Kathy in the chat. She's just telling me whenever someone's talking, and that's because she's not active listening. That's why she's saying it. But okay, there, doggone Kathy. So with conflict resolution, okay. So I want each one of you guys to give me a scenario of how you would address or implement conflict resolution, starting with Miss Bell. Miss Bell,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So I'm going to repeat myself because I think you didn't hear me. So the bit is you weren't active listening. So I'll start with you, and I want you to give me an example of how you would, a scenario where you would implement conflict resolution.
Hmm. Uh, a scenario where I would, when there's the scenario will be two friends of mine um are arguing. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I'm actively listening to what she's saying to the other person.
Okay.
Um, and I will wait until she finished saying what
Okay.
she has to say to the other person to see if that person actually heard what she was saying, listening to what she was saying, and then I would just come in and just let them know what I got out of the conversation
Okay. Okay.
to try to quash it or whatever.
Okay. 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 That's a good one. Okay, Miss Dixon. Miss Dixon.
Like, what would be my scenario to it? What would be
Mm-hmm.
my scenario to it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
To hearing two people getting into a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want to know.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I be listening, but you know, I wouldn't get involved.
Okay.
Okay.
But if it was
Two
okay,
people was
so
getting into a conflict.
but you supposed to.
They was getting
That's
into an argument, right? That's what you're
yeah,
asking,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I want you to give an example
I
that
wouldn't get
you
involved in it. Come on,
but
if
you have
I was,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you said,
Yes, I'm
oh, I
okay.
would just walk out. I would just walk off. It depends on the situation. I would just walk off because I don't have time for people and their stupidity.
But Miss
Absolutely.
That's how I
Dixon,
handle conflict situations. I would just walk off. Now,
but
if they
Miss
keep
Dixon,
on coming at me with their shenanigans, then
but Miss
you
Dixon,
were saying,
you can't walk away. You can't.
yes, I
I,
can. I can walk away. I'm my own person. If somebody's standing there and they want to just keep on going and keep going with their shenanigans, I'm gonna just walk off
but Miss
because I don't
Dixon,
have to stand there and listen to that.
okay, but Miss Dixon, go back and read the definition of conflict resolution. You can't just walk away. You have to resolve the
You just
conflict.
said if I was no Miss Alita, then you just said if I was engaging in a conflict with somebody,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
What would I do? That's what you asked.
Okay.
And I
I didn't
said, I'm not finna engage in it. I'm not. If we stand there face to face and this person come and they, try to start some stuff with me, I'm not finna engage in that. I'm not.
Okay. Okay.
That's a
I
choice. I don't have to. Why?
okay. I accept that answer, but that's gonna be on the test, so I'm just letting you know.
Well,
Right.
if
If
I
my
like
I
same
to see.
answer be on your test, Mr. Leader, I'm gonna walk off. Cause depending on the situation and when, yeah, I'm gonna walk off. I'm so serious. I don't have time for that.
Right.
but okay, listen. I got you. So, Miss Dixon. So, if you were a supervisor, let me put you in this position. You were a supervisor and you had two employees that were not getting along. One of the jobs of a supervisor, they have to have the skills of conflict resolution because this can happen at any time during when you're over a significant amount of people or when you're over people period when you have employees, right? You can't walk away, so I'm going to put you in the position of the supervisor. So if you are the supervisor, right, you are the supervisor, you're responsible for finding out what's going on with these two.
I
um
can't hear anything. I don't know
huh?
if you guys are talking.
You can't hear us?
I'm gonna go out, come back
Okay,
in.
come back
Give me
in.
just
Okay,
a
great. Okay, so Miss Dixon, so how would you solve that as a supervisor or a manager and you have a problem between two of your employees? How would you handle that?
Okay, this if I was a supervisor. I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to both parties and
Okay.
then I'm gonna go from there and I'm gonna get
Mhm.
rid of the problem.
Okay. 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 So that's what I guess I should have explained myself clear. That's what I was talking about. Where if you were in a
Oh yes,
situation
ma'am.
where you use your conflict
Oh
resolution.
yes, ma'am. I thought you was speaking of myself. I said, no, I'm not doing that. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so Miss Francesca, give me an
yes, ma'am.
example. And Miss Kathy, you still got to write your example inside the chat, so don't think you're getting away with it. Okay, go ahead, Miss Francesca.
Okay, so I've encountered this situation, this scenario so many times, and it has something to do with family. So
Okay.
I'm a part of a large family. I have like 7 other siblings, and they bring stuff to me that is going on with internally within the family. You know
Mm-hmm.
how family can form cliques and stuff, and you have one sister against a
Yeah.
brother, and vice versa. So when they bring the conflict to me, the one thing that I do is I listen to
Mm-hmm.
everything that they have to say, because who am I to say that what they're feeling about a particular sibling is not valid? It's valid
Yeah.
to them. So the thing that I do is I remain neutral. I
Mm-hmm.
listen to what they have to say. I let them vent. I let them get it off their chest,
Mm-hmm.
and I sympathize, and I have empathy for how they feel, because one thing about it is that you know they feel the way that they feel, and they're in, as humans we're entitled to feel the way that we feel about a
Mm-hmm.
particular subject, but or whatever somebody has to say,
Mm-hmm.
but I just remain neutral, and I just let them get it off their chest. And at the end, I often find myself asking them, okay, so do you feel better? So what are some next steps that we can, that you can do to, to not let that person or what they say bother you? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
at the end
Maybe.
of the day, is it really that crucial to where you guys can't we can't all meet
Mm.
at a crossroads? So it's important to communicate and have that open dialogue, but you just let them vent, you just let them get it off their chest, and you remain neutral. But Ms. Dixon, I just want to say that I feel you on that one. because it's like you come to me with a whole bunch of mess. I'm looking at you crazy. And I'm like, okay, I'm not, this is not the day or the time. I'm not getting involved in this. But we just have to remain neutral and just let that person get it off their chest and, see if that situation can be resolved. Communication is essentially important in any kind of relationships, whether it's our personal relationships or, in business. So that's what I have to say about that.
Right. Right.
Great answer.
But see, you have to realize though, in some situations, you have those who don't want to resolve a problem. This is
That
what
Exactly.
I
that
come to
that
understand with people.
yes.
I come to understand that some people don't want to solve a problem. They want
That's
to continue to be a part of the problem. And that's when
Absolutely.
you get rid of the problem.
It's true. You are right.
Yeah,
You are right.
you're right. You're right. You're right. That person keeps coming back. Every time you turn around, that person is in the middle of something all the time.
Hmm.
You
Always
ever
the mess.
you ever work with a group of people that every time you turn around, even when things are going great,
Hmm.
there's always a semblance of some chaotic stuff going on in the middle. It's always in the center. Nobody knows where
Always.
it's from, but that one person is always
Yep.
sitting in the middle. Just
Yep.
keep stuff up all the time.
Name
That,
always is some
Yeah,
bullshit.
yep,
yeah.
Name
yep,
I've
always
seen it
is.
before.
yep,
I've seen
yep.
it before.
And
Hmm.
that's the person you have to sit down with and literally, if you're that person who's in charge, literally sit down and have a conversation with them. Find out what is the problem. Because if everything keeps coming back to you, because you're telling them it keeps coming back to you. So I want you to tell me what is the problem you're having with working with the team? What is it that makes you be the center of every chaos or every conflict that happens? That's part of conflict resolution because you're trying to find out why that person is doing these things. Because you don't want to work with a bunch of people that is always some disruption because you have a job to do no matter how we see it. It's a job that needs to be completed, a task that needs
Hmm.
to be done, and it takes teamwork. So what you do is you grab that person up that's unhappy because obviously they got to be unhappy if they're
Absolutely.
making everybody else around them miserable.
I was just getting ready to say that. Misery loves company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you find out what's going on with that person.
But it's up to you to keep that person company. If I know a person miserable, I'm not going around
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But a
because
supervisor,
you have some people that will keep on coming and keep on coming until you feeling the same way they feel.
yes, because
Hmm.
their energy, yeah, we were talking about that before, you guys, how their energy starts to get on you, and you're wondering why you frustrated and mad, and because that person has been around you so long that their energy starts to suck up your energy, and because energy transforms and transfers. So before you know it, you mad at people that you never was mad at before. You wonder why, because you're dealing with this person over here that's just wreaking havoc everywhere they go. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that person, you need to give them a special job because you don't want to fire them right off the bat, but you want to give them a special job, let them work by themselves. That they need help, they can ask questions. But I hate to
Right.
ostracize them, but that's the way you find out where the problem is. You give
Absolutely.
them a special assignment and see how everybody works, as a team, see how calm it gets, see how
Hmm.
everybody interacting with each other. When you see everybody's interacting with each other and it's good, then you know that was your problem. You know that person was the problem. So that's when you
Hmm.
have that one-on-one and do the counseling with them and tell them now, if you feel like this job is not what you want and it doesn't fit what you want, you can't keep making everybody else miserable because you're unhappy. So whatever's going on with you, you need to deal with it, right? And you can't keep making the whole team miserable. It's not fair to them
Right.
because people
Right.
love their
Exactly.
jobs and they love what they do. So you're
Hmm.
making their job hard by keeping up conflict all the time, you know.
Absolutely.
And that person is the trigger person. That's the person who can go around and trigger everybody because they've known you enough to know exactly how to trigger you, right? Personally, one
Absolutely.
by one, they've gone through and found out how they can trigger you. And they do that,
Hmm.
right? So that's why
Yeah.
you have to ostracize. That's why I asked you earlier, Miss Dixon, how you have to ostracize that person. You have to, because if you don't, the work that needs to be done will never get done, because
Right.
they're spending more time arguing and talking about people, and that's why another thing I said about keeping your personal business to yourself at your job. Nobody needs to know you
Absolutely.
have a cat, dog, horse. Nobody don't need to know none of that, right? You're
Right.
there to do a job,
Right.
period. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that
Yeah.
keeps all that down. You don't have that kind of conversation with them at all. They don't need to know anything personal about you, because
And
they'll use that. Hmm.
I just want to share something and just kind of piggyback in a way to what Salita was saying when people feed off your energy.
Hmm.
If you are the type of person in a workplace and you have a certain light about you, you have a certain confidence about you, it's all spiritual.
Hmm.
And people, they will see the light in you and they will try to drain your light source, your energy. So, I look at everything, when it comes to, work dynamics and people, on the job that I deal with, it's
Hmm.
spiritual. A lot of these people, they're miserable in their personal lives. They're not confident in in any aspect of their life. And if you're a person and you come in and you know your stuff and you're doing a good job and you're confident, you're bold, you're everything that they wish that they could be,
Hmm.
they will feed off of that. They will
That's
feed off of that light, and they will try to just suck that energy. So, we have to recognize those kind of things when we're, dealing with people, and that will give us some key concepts on how to, you know, deal with them appropriately, in
that's
the
That's
workplace.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's right. And even in families, you guys, in families
yeah.
too, you get that too. You know who which ones that are the ones who keep up mess in the family. Oh, you
Oh,
Oh,
know
yeah.
yes,
that.
ma'am. You do.
Oh my goodness, yes,
You do.
you
When
do.
you know that person, look, okay, look, I see what you're doing. I'm not about to argue with Annie Mae about
Right,
something you said. I'm not doing that.
right.
So you might as well go ahead over there. I'm not going to argue with you. And I'll tell you what, I will limit my conversation with you because I see how
Hmm.
you know, you all you have to do is say one thing. Well, I didn't like Annie Mae's hairstyle, and then she taking that and running over to Annie Mae and saying you said something totally different in that. That's to
Yep.
see how much they can get it egging on. You mad, Annie Mae mad at you, and you don't know what Annie Mae mad at because
Right.
we can come back to you later, confront you. Oh, so you gonna pay for my hair? Da 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 da. Like, wait a minute, sis, what's
Right.
up? What are you talking
Right.
about? My opinion about your hair, I can make that opinion. It doesn't mean anything. I wasn't saying that I didn't like you. I said I didn't like your
Hmm.
hairstyle. It's two different things,
Hmm.
right? But
Right.
the conversation that got back to her was that you said you can't stand your sister. That's not what I said, and they keep it on.
Right.
Then they got you arguing with your brother. Oh, she don't like your wife. Where did that come from? So there are family members that will tear a family apart, just being messy, going from one person to another, to another, to another, having everybody in the uproar all the time. And
And
It's
then
so
when it's time
ironic.
for
Hmm.
them to have a conversation, they
They
don't
don't
want
want
to
to have.
have a
They don't want to have.
adult conversation. They don't want to.
No. They deflect.
They
They run from it.
they rather
Put it on
have a
everybody else.
shouting match with
Mhm.
somebody else.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
right.
That's crazy.
Ain't that something?
That is crazy. So Miss Kathy said that keeps being distracted to stop because accuracy is key with the type of work that is required. That's right. She said a resolution can be solved in different ways depending upon what happened. That's right. You're
Hmm.
correct.
Yeah.
That is true. Every situation is different. I thought that was a common situation because when you work on a team, you're working with many different people and you are working with different types of personalities. So if you have one person, like you said, miserable, don't things ain't going right in their personal lives, they bring all that crap to work. And then you're dealing with their misery that they're bringing to work. Because see, work is where they can have the freedom to say and do the things they want to say. See, because lots of times if you're in an abusive relationship at home, you're not allowed to speak up, right? You're not allowed to speak back at your husband or your kids because you got people scared of the kids too. So you're not allowed
Mm-hmm.
all of that, right? So you find yourself when you get to work, you know a couple of people that are very nice, and you know you can say what you want. You can bully them, like really like bully them at work or make them feel bad, and then they'll say something to somebody else, and keep it going all the way around, right? In that whole team dynamics, because and then you're the only one who's miserable. Everybody else is happy. Everybody else's life is going great. You're the only one who's miserable, right? So misery loves company. So you get somebody else. Well, you say, well, they said you didn't finish that assignment that you were supposed to do. That part of the task we were supposed to do, you didn't turn it in on time. I didn't see that email. So you're going back and forth. So you know where it came from. The center person came in the middle. The person in the middle is the one who's taking it and moving it around that same situation, moving it around to different people. And you sitting up there, everybody mad at each other. Everybody, okay. Everybody coming in mad, and they wonder why you're not saying good morning to me. You're not doing it, and you really don't have to say good morning to anybody actually. But if you've grown this team together, this is how you've been working until that person messed up the whole thing. That's when the supervisor steps in, and the supervisor needs to say, okay, so what is going on here? Why are you guys not getting along? You always did. So what's going on? So then that's when everything needs to come out on the table. Everybody needs to sit there and talk about what is the problem. And let me tell you something, what I had an opportunity to do. And I don't know if I told you, I have plenty of stories. When I was working at the VA, I worked with the union. So the maintenance supervisor, Director Mason, called me over there, and he said, I have an issue with two of my employees. And I know you're good at talking to them. Can you talk to them and figure out what's going on? So I get both of them sitting at the table, and it was nothing but just what we were talking about. That was the situation. It was a white girl and a black girl, a black woman. These two a
Mm-hmm.
black woman and a white woman. The white woman was acting like a Karen. Well, back then the definition wasn't Karen; it was something
Right.
else. But that's what it was. And so I had to be the go-between. And so they had to work together for 2 weeks and then come back to me and give me a plan of action or a result of them working together. Only them two working
Mm-hmm.
together. Them not working with everybody else. They had to work together for 2 weeks. And then we had to sit back down again and have another meeting and talk about how that's conflict resolution. I put them together, told them that they had
Wow.
to work together for 2 weeks, and then they had to come back and tell me how those 2 weeks were with them working together. And they figured
Wow.
out, 'cause sometimes you have to let them do it themselves. They figured out what the problem was. And the problem was they had communication problems. The
Uh-huh.
nonverbal
Interesting.
and
What
the
it is.
verbal was
Yep.
not working because she didn't know how to talk to people. The Karen didn't know how to talk to people. And the Karen had some underlying other stuff going on with the Karen.
The
And
racist
she
stuff.
basically,
Uh-huh.
so she was kind of, but I couldn't come out and say that as a union rep. I couldn't say
Absolutely.
that, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had to kind of maneuver it in a different way, but that's
Right.
what it was. And
Mm.
so the resolve is once they got together and they found out what it was, and they resolved their own problem. And sometimes that's what it takes. That's
Yeah.
all it takes.
Yeah.
And they had to do a
Yeah.
checkup with me from time to time to see how things are working. Then they wound up working back with the rest of his team. They were able to start working with everybody else. But I had to do that was the kind of solving that I had to do to get them because you're affecting everybody around you. So let's work,
Yes.
you two forced to work together, right?
Right.
To make
Yeah.
sure we can fix this. So when you go back with the group, you don't bring all that back to the group. So, and it worked. Okay. I don't know how, because they both probably retired now because that's been years ago. But that was one of the things I did when you talk about conflict resolution. So,
Wow. That was a good strategy though.
Yeah, you have to be able to,
Yeah.
because even, and you don't always have to be the fixer, because it's not really you fixing it. You're giving them a resolution to a problem, a conflict problem. And then another way you could do it is you can ask them, so the way that you feel about me, is it a factual feeling or is it just your feeling about me? Because some people dislike you, just like you said earlier, they don't like your
Right.
spirit, right?
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
the reason why you're treating me bad, is because you don't like, and you can ask them that. You're
Right.
treating me bad because you don't like the way that I talk and I'm happy. Ask
Right.
them that.
Yeah.
Okay, so why aren't you as happy as I am? I mean, I'm
Right.
trying to figure out. We all here together, because you got to look at. We all in the same boat together. We all
Yeah.
got a job to do. That's how you got to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
We
Right.
all got
Mm-hmm.
a job to
Mm-hmm.
do. We're all family. We all
Yeah.
got a position, a role in the family to play. So why
Right.
are we arguing? And
That's
why are you
true.
always having this need to keep stuff up? So what's going on with you? Because sometimes, people can lie all they want, but you're not, you can lie about how you are, and all this. I can say that all day long. But I'm watching your actions. I'm not upset
Right.
about nothing. I don't know where y'all get that from. I'm not a But then why are you always in people's business? Why are you always saying things? Why things are getting back and forth and everybody keeps pointing at you? Everybody
Right.
can't be at the same person. So what's the issue? Because sometimes you
Exactly.
just got to ask them that. What's the issue? Tell me
Right.
what the issue is. Because
Exactly.
obviously it's something wrong, because this keeps happening. You're disrupting everybody. So why
Yeah.
are you doing this?
Yeah.
You know, you got to come
You
out
got to
with
be
the question.
forward and direct with them.
Yes, yes, yes. You have to be.
Yeah.
So we have this thing we used to do. I don't know if they still do it at the VA because it's been a long time ago. So it's called the VA Leadership um, program. So you have, back in the day, you got selected by your team or your supervisor to be in this special program. So it's called the VA Leader Program. So in other words, you go through this program and it teaches you how to be a leader, how you can handle different things. So we had a class just like I'm doing here. We had a big class. We had this one chick that kept on bullying everybody in the group. So one day, and I'm the type of person, I'm the person to always fight for the underdog, because that's just how my personality is. So one day we were sitting in class and we were talking, and that Karen, it was a Karen, y'all. She had got us to the point where everybody was fragile. We were just like done. So I was the one who stood up and I said, "You have got to stop what you're doing." So everybody, like, how, just braced, because they know I don't usually say anything other than what I
Hmm.
have to say around the table. I say,
Right.
"You're going to have to stop coming to these classes and bullying everybody in the class." I said, "You're going to have to stop this. We're all here together." Because once you get them to understand we're all here together, we're all trying to achieve the same thing, and we're all trying to do it at the best way we can. You have got to, because you know what they do? They give each other an assignment and they put somebody in charge of that
Hmm.
assignment. So when they do that, she was the one who was trying to tell everybody what to do when she was only supposed to be in charge of her team and telling them what to do. So I got tired of it. So I went off on her. So at the time, the teacher, Miss Portia, I'll never forget Miss Portia. Miss Portia had never heard me talk like that. So she was in the hallway. So she comes back in and her eyes is like this big, because she thought I was about to throw down. But I was not going to fight. I was being respectful when I was saying it. I said, "But we've had enough of you. We have had enough of you bossing everybody around. Miss Portia is the teacher. She's the instructor, not you." And I had to tell her that. And everybody was like, "Oh
Hmm.
my Oh my God, no,
Right.
she didn't." Because they were shocked. But
Hmm.
if you don't know my personality, then you wouldn't know I.
Right.
We're in this boat together. So we all got to make this boat work, right? We all got to tug. We all got to put our paddles in it and get through this whole program, because it's like a 6-week program. And we all graduated from it, but it was in the step. And after that, you guys, we had no other problems. And I'm not saying I'm the hero. I'm just saying that I spoke up because nobody else was speaking up, and she was making those times miserable for us when we were trying to
Right.
enjoy the class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm always that person that'll speak up, because when I figure something ain't right, I'm gonna say something. I'm not. I don't keep my mouth. I'm like, okay, because I have to play it in my head before I say something. I said, so why is and every time she talked to somebody, she would talk nasty, like real rude. Do you
Very
have to,
condescending.
yeah, condescending? And I'm like, do you have to talk to everybody that way? How in the world are you going to be a leader when you don't even know how to communicate? But some
Right.
people don't understand what leadership is.
Yeah,
Some
that's
people
true.
think it's about bossing people around and being
Right.
in control. That's not what
Yeah.
leadership is.
Yeah, sometimes you like you just said, they're not cognizant and
Yeah.
they're not aware that they are even doing that.
Yes,
And
because they do it at home. Most of the time, lots of them, either they can't do it at home or they do it at home.
absolutely.
And you can
Yeah.
cut that out because
Yep.
it's not necessary. We're all
Yeah.
here together, you know? And so that's what we have to do in our family. This family dynamics is the same way. We all came from the same womb. So we got to figure out how we're going to make this work. I can personally say that in my family. It's 5 girls. Well, it was 5 girls until I lost my sister. And it was conflict all the time. I'm the one I think I'm the black sheep of the family, because I'm the one who asks the questions. Everybody else want to get smart. I ain't gonna get smart all the time. I'm gonna ask the question. What the problem is? Why are we acting this way? And if you talk to me and you talking to me all crazy, I'm coming back with you. I'm just saying. And then I don't have to talk to you. I'm gonna
Absolutely.
be like Miss Dixon. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna walk off. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm done with it. And if you never call me again, I'm fine with that. If you never
Hmm.
write me again, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't I don't get upset when family members don't speak. I don't. I
Right.
promise you,
Me
y'all.
either.
I'm that person.
Mm-mm,
I
me
don't
either.
force no family to speak to me, but we have been trained and indoctrinated and
Right.
brainwashed to think that we have to get along with our family members even when they're treating us bad.
Right. Right.
And that's not true. We don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't. And you can love people from afar.
You can. You really can.
Okay? You can love family members from afar.
You
When I
can.
say
You
afar,
can.
I'm not saying from state to
You
state.
can.
I'm talking about right down the street. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want peace in your life and that family member doesn't bring peace in your life, you don't have to deal with that family member. And that's something we just don't get. We don't get that. We have been, well, that's my sister, and I'm going to make everything right with her. No, no, you don't have to. Because one thing I'm not going to do is force my affection on anybody. I'm not doing it. And when I'm upset with one of my sisters and I don't speak to them, they already know. They already know they undid something,
Right.
said something that they ain't had no business saying. And so I
Hmm.
just stopped talking to them. I'm like you. I'll do. I don't have to deal with you. There's
It's best
nothing.
to just have a conversation with them and tell them.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to worry about nobody much saying or steering stuff the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if it was me, I would have a conversation with that family member myself. So it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't even be a misunderstanding. So
Exactly. And
nobody could twist your words and then
exactly.
it's all over with.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if you want to hold on to it, and every time we get together and you want to clown me, then I know right then and there what I said to you didn't matter. That active listening didn't work. That's what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
'Cause-
It's ironic
Right.
that we're having this
Yeah.
conversation tonight because I
uh,
just personally experienced that. My brother
uh-huh.
passed away in March, and there's been a whole lot of,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
family conflict. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's been a lot of contention within the family, especially between me and my sister that's 6 years older than me. She got to
Hmm.
California and just clowned on me for no reason. And I'm like, girl, you need to go in a corner. And if you don't ever speak to me again, that's your choice. I
Hmm.
don't care. I'm good. I'm blessed over here. So, I'm learning how to even deal with that just through having this open dialogue that we're having. So, this is very beneficial for me, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. And that like I don't know if I don't think I shared this with you guys also when my we had some stuff going on when my mom passed away, and then we were not even finished with the grieving of my mom, and then the stuff was still going on, and then my sister immediately 30 days later passed away. So it was like family members weren't speaking to each other, nephews, nieces, and stuff was not speaking, and we were. I mean, it was a mess, and it was a
Mhm.
mess. It took a mental and emotional toll on me, to the
Yeah.
point where I was like, "What the hell?" And I literally, my older sister will, if she was on here, she would tell you, me and her have been because we're born one day after each other in different years,
Yeah.
but we have always been close. Our relationship split like, and we hadn't talked. My sister and my mom have been passed away for 3 years, going on 3 years, 3 years now. Going, yeah, 3 years. We hadn't talked since my mom passed away, and we just start talking again. And when she started talking again with me, she started crying because me and her had such a close relationship. But that's what it took. And I'm like this. I didn't miss a beat doing what I do because I
Right.
didn't let that affect me. If you feel the
Absolutely.
need to not speak to me, I'm fine with that. I'm not,
Yeah.
I said, you already know me. You know I'm that type of person. I'm not going to force nobody in my life or around me or even talking to me. I can move.
Right.
Never stop doing all the things that I did because I didn't let it affect me to that point. Because you
Right.
already know if I need to detach from you, I'm going to detach from you. And it was
Mhm.
even all the stuff that was going on was all unnecessary. And it was the back and forth, the conversations that were being had, conversation back and forth. I was oblivious to it because I had stepped away from the whole family. I stopped talking to everybody in the family
Yeah.
because you have to do that. And I was
Yeah, you
fine
have
with
to do that for your mental health sometimes, because
it.
family can be a whole demon with a blue bonnet on. If that's a statement that you can use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I had to do that. And I love my sisters, but they know how I am. I'm that type of
Hmm.
person. I will cut you off and don't even,
Yep.
it won't even bother me. And I'm
Yep.
quite sure, and we got our mom's way. You know, when you got your mom way, all of y'all have the almost similar personalities because you pick up your mom's ways. She know we all are like that to each other. But I'm like this. If I have not done anything to you, and I've always been that sister that would come to your rescue, would be there for you, would speak up for you, I'm the wrong one to disassociate with. I'm the wrong
Facts.
one to treat bad.
Facts.
I will
Yes.
step in for you in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
You know, that I'm the loud, they say that big mouth auntie, that's me. The one who speak up and say the craziest things, that's me. you know and I do that because there lots of times when I was being bullied, you didn't have anybody, so you learn to be. Remember I told you guys about people pleasing? That's part of my people pleasing trait, is that I'm trying to please everybody at the same time, and in the meantime I'm being emotionally, I'm being broken down,
Hmm.
right? And so my husband, many times he would say to me, "Baby, you guys need to talk. Y'all need to talk." And I kept getting mad at him. Oh, I would get so mad. Don't even tell me about talking. I'm not talking to nobody. But
Yep.
eventually, we did finally talk, and now me and her talk all the time. We're building up the relationship we had long time ago, but it was totally broken because I didn't. I'm not doing it. If I haven't done anything to you, there's no need for you to treat me the way you treated me. It was no need for you to do the things you did when I'm there for you. And it's not about me
Absolutely.
saying and bringing up, what I did for you, but I've always been a support system, like encouraging, like I do you guys, encouraging you. Speak up for you. Don't let nobody
Hmm.
say this to you. Don't do it this way.
Right.
Let me show you how you should do it this way. This is what you tell them. I'm that sister. So when you get, when people disenfranchise you from your family like that, you keep dealing. I kept doing what I did for 3 years. I did, and still doing it. because you have to. That's when you know that the growth that you're doing, it's actually working. Because I could have been broken down. I could have just went into a what you call a cocoon. I
Hmm.
could have let my whole life be torn down by certain things that was said by family members. But I didn't do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to keep living. You got to keep going, because if you don't, guess what? You ruin for no reason. And a lot of this is nothing but feelings. Has nothing to do with the facts of any situation that happened. It's all
Right.
about how we interpret it through our feelings. Our anger is through our feelings. I'm angry at you because you said something about me. Is it fact that you actually said it? There probably no bearings on the fact that that was said. But because you were the person it was pointing to, then I'm mad. So we got to learn how. This is why conflict resolution is so important. We were talking about, me and Nat and them has been talking about it on the show. We were talking about how with our kids go grab guns instead of sitting down and having a conversation about why
Hmm.
you don't like me. Because
Right.
you know what? I also use that when at the youth challenge program, working with those little girls, getting them to say why you don't like somebody. And it's really,
Right.
most of the time, it's not even about nothing. Nothing. So
Hmm.
you don't like her because her hair is braided different than yours.
Right.
That's what this is. And then when you hear, when you, like you said, Miss Linda, you were saying how when you come to the conclusion of what's going on, that didn't even make no sense. I said, now you say it to yourself. You're mad at her because her hair is braided different than yours. Now say that out loud to yourself. Now, how does that sound? And they're like, it's so stupid. Yes. Now go over there and
Hmm.
sit down and go play or something. I go sit down. All that, put all that away. Y'all got to work together for the next 3 months. Shut up with all that, because that's what you
Right.
have to do. Some of the stuff that they're upset about is not even necessary. It's not even
Hmm.
anything they need to be mad about.
Right.
And see, we don't teach conflict resolution with our kids either.
Nope.
Because guess
That's
what?
true.
No one has ever taught us conflict resolution.
Yep.
No one else set us down and said, you don't have to fight your sister. You don't have to beat
Right.
on your sister to get your point across. Sit down and talk to her. She wore a pair of your pants. You was upset because she wore a pair of your pants, right? So you tell her, look,
Hmm.
from now on, just ask me.
Right.
Simple as that. Don't go in my closet and take my pants out without asking me. Point blank. Something simple. Don't use my shirt. You wore my shirt. Everybody saw you in my shirt. Then I try to wear it the next day, and they think I'm copying off of you when it's originally my shirt. So why are you wearing my shirt? Do you want me to replace the shirt? Yeah, please, can you replace my shirt and give me a different color or something? But don't wear my shirt anymore without my permission. Do you see how simple
Right.
that sounds? That's communication. That's like you
Hmm.
said, sitting down and talking to each other and saying that. Now you borrowed my wig. I saw you in my wig. I went to go get it. It wasn't in the drawer where it belonged. So you took my
Right.
wig and asked me, right? So I want my wig back, but I want you to wash it and make sure it looks good before you give it back to me. So
Hmm.
why did you pick my wig without asking me to use it? Because what I eventually do is give it to you so you can have it because I can replace it. So you don't have to worry about taking it, right? You can just go ahead and keep it and I'll just replace it. Not to say I'm rich and I got a lot of money, but I'll replace the wig because you already on ward. And everybody know me and you are best friends, or we're good, we're sisters, or cousins or whatever. I'd rather for you to keep the wig. And intangible things and materialistic things is not the reason for us to stop speaking. Really is not. But we
Right.
do
Yeah. Every day.
all the time. And it
Yeah.
don't make any sense. So we got to figure out how we as adults can handle conflict resolution, especially when it comes to our relationships with not our coworkers. That's not really important. It's important, but it's not. It's important for work, but it's not important for personal. So when it comes to our family members, when it comes to our husband, when it comes to our wives, when it comes to our boyfriend, our girlfriend, we got to be able, excuse me, to handle how conflict resolution, how the end result. Say for instance, let's talk about when we talk about a man and woman relationship. So it was his time to put gas in the car, which is a simple thing. And he didn't do it. You had to go somewhere. You didn't have time to stop and put gas in the car. The car runs out of gas. You have to call him to bring to come get the car because you're stuck. So whatever place you're at, you're stuck there. So can you go come get the car, leave the other car there, come get the car and go fill it up because that was your job, right? You were supposed to do it this month. You didn't do it. So I need you to do it now so that I can do my maneuvering, getting around the way I want to. I can wait here until you come back. You understand? Because she's still at work. She's still working, so she can't just pack up and leave. But that his job was to get to put the gas in the car, and he didn't do it. Right? So now they're mad at each other. They get home, she's cussing and fussing. You embarrassed me. Look what you did. You didn't do it. And they're arguing. The thing is, if he would have just done what he was supposed to do, and that was to put the gas and come to her and say, baby, look, I apologize. I know I misstepped. I didn't do right. I apologize and not putting the gas in the car. He turns around, he cusses her out because all she asked for him to do was to put the gas in the car on time because that was one of his jobs to do. That's one of his duties for this month or this week to do, and he didn't do it. And she wound up rushing, going to work, and ran out of gas. And he's upset with her, and he's not speaking to her because he had to stop whatever he was doing to come make sure she had gas in her car. When all he had to do was do that from the get-go. That's lack of communication and lack of him staying true to his obligation of him being responsible for putting gas in the car when that's all he had to do. And he should have came to her and said, okay, I don't want us being angry at each other. So I apologize. I'm going to make sure from here on out that I make sure that you have gas in your car because I do not want to get you stranded out on the road and you having to wait for somebody to come give you gas. And also, I don't want you to be embarrassed because it looks like you don't have no money. You understand what I'm saying? So you put all those
Right.
you come with the end result, right? That you step up and do what you're saying because I would make sure that you had gas in the car if it was me because we take turns doing that. And a lot of this is lack of communication. We don't know how to communicate with each other. I don't know what it is. We get into our feelings, we get upset, we don't talk, and then all the stuff is still going. You got to remember, even though y'all not talking, all the stuff that's going on in the household is still going on. It's still going on. So somebody got to do something. Especially if you have a busy household. Now, if it ain't but one or two of y'all in the house, it ain't no big deal. But if you got a whole family, you got kids, everybody got to get here, and you walk around not speaking to the person that's supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, you're not lacking in what you're doing, but they're lacking in what they're doing. There needs to be a conversation being had because it starts to affect how the family dynamic is working. If everything was working good, all of a sudden a lot of stuff ain't working good like it's supposed to, there needs to be a sit down family conversation had. I remember my mom used to have family conversation, find out what's going on with everybody. So that's what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody needs to have something in that they're responsible for in the relationship. Everybody does. And they need to stick to it. And sometimes I know it's easy for me to sit here and talk about it, but it's not always like that, especially if there's already some stuff going on underlying that the kids or everybody else in the household don't know. That's between the husband and the wife, right? Can someone explain to me why my coworker talks so much? No, Kathy, no, we can't do that. Maybe because she don't talk at home.
Right.
It could be that she can't talk at home, and that's the reason why she come to work and talk all the time. I mean, that could be it. Because yeah. So at home, if she has no voice at home, and she knows she has free will at work to talk, she's going to talk at work because she doesn't get that at home. And I've met people like that. I've
Mhm.
worked with people who were being abused at home, right? She talks nonstop. They're being abused at home, and when they come to work, you can see it. I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about her reaction to things, how she handles arguments. You can see that there's a lot going on at home. And then eventually in conversations, random conversation, it comes out that there's a lot going on at that household. I had a nurse that was afraid of her husband, and she was working two jobs and he wasn't working none.
Wow.
And she was literally scared of him. The reason why it came out in the conversation, because we were talking, I don't know what we were talking about, but she said she found a teddy bear in the back seat of her car, one of those teddy bears that go with flowers or whatever. And she
Mhm.
asked him who it was for. And the way he explained it, it wasn't for her. And it was for the person he was cheating on with. She was too afraid of him because he had jumped on her before to take it any further. So
Mhm.
she left it alone. So it comes out in the conversation that she was afraid of him. And that's the reason why he was allowed to do the things he was doing. Because he took her money and bought the teddy bear with. Because men are
Wow.
bold like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's 56 and her husband is 75. That's probably why she talks so much at home. I mean, here. Because she probably can't have a good conversation with her husband. If he that old,
Right.
let me quit that because my husband's 70. So I can't say it. But my husband have good conversation. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. 50, see, that's a real big difference. She's 56 and her husband is 75. Yeah.
Almost
Okay,
20
that's
years
what
older than her.
yeah. He's older than her and their conversations are changed. I mean, they're not on the
Yeah.
same wavelength. Sometimes when you be marrying for money, that ain't worth it. A good conversation is healthy. I'm sorry, but it is mentally
Mhm.
to be able to talk to somebody. But
Right.
yeah, so you figure out, okay, so now I know why she's been reacting this way because she's getting her behind kicked, excuse me for saying it like that, but she's being, abused at home. And that's how you know also when they come to work and they keep up a lot of chaos. Because she can't be chaotic at home because he's laying down the doggone gauntlet. He's
Right.
tearing up the table at home,
Right.
or the kids. Because you got some that the kids kick the tail too. Okay,
Yeah.
keep that in mind. You got some that got the
Oh
kids
yeah.
kick the tail.
Mhm. Yeah,
And I
that's
just
true.
cannot imagine hitting my mom. Not in the wildest dreams could I think about ever putting my hands on my mom. I don't care what she said to me. I just could
I
not
wouldn't be here
fathom.
today.
Mm-mm, no, thinking that I would put my hands on my mom. I don't care how mean and evil she is. I would never put my hands on my mom. That is something to me that is so mind-boggling. Because people, when they say when you hit your mom or abuse your parents, that your life becomes shorter on this earth. Y'all, that's true.
It is.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is very much so true, that your life shortens
Mm-hmm.
when you've had that type of
Basically setting your
relationship.
life up for failure when you
That's
don't
right.
honor your mother and your father.
Yep. And I know it says in
Nothing
there, provoke mother and father, do not provoke your child into
right.
that
Anger.
too. I get
Mm-hmm.
that. I get
Yep.
that. But if your mom and dad, not but let me say and your mom and dad is helping you and doing for you, and you're staying in their house, and they, maintain and making sure, there's no need for you to be ungrateful. And
Exactly.
that's what a lot of kids don't understand. There's no need for
Mm-hmm.
you to be ungrateful if mom and dad is there for you. You needed a car, mom and dad went on and got you a car, right? You needed
Mm-hmm.
a place to stay because you're grown. Mom and dad Fixed up the garage, fixed up the basement if you live up north, fixed up the basement so you can live in it, and not even charging you rent, right? Not even asking you for anything on the bills at all. Just want you to be safe in the house with them, and you have the audacity to buck up and say disrespectful things to them. Oh no.
Mhm.
Mm, no, no, no. You got to be careful with that, no matter what. And I know when you're young, you know how to control your anger. I do understand that. And then your parents don't know how to control their anger too, right? Because no one taught them either, just like the conflict resolution. When you're dealing with that in a house that is so volatile, that is so volatile. And it has to be somebody from the outside to step in. Because y'all be surprised what happens behind closed doors in some houses. Y'all be surprised. You'd be surprised how parents are being abused and how kids are being abused. And now, when I say kids, I should be young adults are being abused. And it's sad, but you can't fix everybody's problems because people got to be willing to fix their own problem first and foremost. First of all, they need to exactly say there is a problem. See, when you don't say there is a problem, no, ain't nothing going on. That's just how family is. When you see sisters and brothers beating the crap out of each other, that's just how family is. Y'all, that's not normal. That's abuse. That is abuse. There's nothing normal. Well, they let them get it out of each other. Let them get it out. Huh? So you would rather your brothers and sister beat the hell out of each other and then instead of y'all sitting down talking about it? Make that make sense. So you cleaning up blood off the walls because they don't beat each other to a pulp. You're not going to go to the hospital because then you got to report that you're being beat up by your sister or your brother.
Mhm.
And I'm not
Mm-mm.
talking about little
That's
kids.
not
I'm talking
normal,
about
but you know,
it happens. Yeah,
yeah,
it happens.
that's not normal.
But it happens,
But
pumpkin.
you
Oh,
know, and everybody raised different. That's true. Every
yeah,
family is different.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. Some that
That
will
is.
just literally sit there and just watch it go down.
Mhm. And be rooting, like secretly rooting. Oh, get her, get her. I think whew, I think that is so crazy. You would rather
It's
see your
sick.
sisters and brothers beat the hell out of each other.
It's sick. I witnessed that growing up in my family. My aunt's
Mm-hmm.
children, they
Mm-hmm.
would fight each other in the streets like
Oh,
they were not even related.
family.
And she would try to intervene,
Mm-hmm.
but to no avail. They would, and they still do it. As a matter of fact, their children fight their siblings in the street
Oh
like
my God. Do
Chris
you see what
baby.
you did?
So,
You see, generational,
it
generational.
is. It is. That's the most sickening stuff I've ever seen in my whole entire life. But it
And
happens in my
that'll make
own
them
family.
tough. That'll make
Yep,
them tough. And they can get out and they be able to really.
That's heartbreaking.
it really
Yes,
is.
yes. And they start young. Because you know what? We think it's cute when one sister now you go ahead and you get her. You get her. Huh? Instead of you popping that hand and say, no, that's not nice to hit your brother or sister. You sitting up there ganging it on, wanting them to fight each other. What the hell? I just don't understand that. And to me, when you watch your children fight each other, that's a form of abuse. Do y'all understand that?
It really is.
It
It's
is.
abuse.
There is something mentally wrong with you anytime you condone that.
Exactly. You condoning them fighting each other. And see, that's why learning how to deal with conflict resolution, coming up with a way that you can make them work together. I know one technique I watched a family do, and I've seen it done before, is that they make them put on the same shirt. You ever seen that? When they're fighting each other, they make them put on the same shirt. They put their head through the same neck and put one arm through the other arm, the one, and make them walk around together. So you got to, when that one sister or brother move, you got to move with them. I've seen them do that. And that is a way that, okay, this is your brother or this is your sister. You're going to work together and we're going to work this out. But y'all not going to be beating the hell out of each other starting young. And then when you get older, you're doing it as you're getting older. We're not doing that. So they actually make them put on the same shirt and they have to walk around with the same shirt on, literally in the same shirt. So they can understand that this is your brother and this is your sister and you're not going to fight them. I think is an excellent idea. There's other ways. You don't have to beat the hell out of both of them. You can definitely find ways to make them work together. And that's what we have to do, because beating the hell out of them is not the answer all the time, even though my mom and dad, our dads and moms did it to us. It doesn't mean that that's how it is, because that also is a form of teaching them how to be a bully. When you allow them to fight each other, then they go out in the world and they fighting everybody else the way that you allow them to fight their brothers and sisters, because you think it's cute. You laughing, you and your husband sitting up there laughing to watch them fight each other. I'm just saying, you got to figure out how not to do that, right? So it is already 9:26. Great conversation. You guys did excellent today. So
We did good. We did
yeah,
really good.
y'all were good today. Y'all were calm today, except Kathy. Kathy came in acting already. She gonna get put in a corner before
Oh,
it's all
that's
over.
all right.
I'm gonna have to put
That's
her
all
in a
right.
corner. But okay, so we're gonna stop right there. We got chapter 6, mindfulness and emotional intelligence. If you have an opportunity, you can read it ahead of time. Don't forget to do your homework, because the next time she's laughing. The next time we come back, we'll do 4 and 5, because we'll be just going into 6. So we'll be answering the questions in the workbook for 4 and 5 for the next class, right? Next for Wednesday. Um, Also, I'm not ready. I think I'm gonna wait till, let's see, it has 8 chapters. Let me see. No. Let me see what chapters we have in here. We have 10 chapters in here. So we're already on our 6th chapter. So, okay. So this is what's gonna happen, because we have a test coming up. So I advise you guys to do some reading, because we have a test coming up before we go into chapter 6. So I will be sending you guys a test for 1 through 5. And you guys have already done a good job with the workbook so far. So it shouldn't be hard. And it's going to be some vocabulary words on this test, for sure. For sure. So are you guys ready for another test? Because we hadn't had a test in a minute. Y'all ready for another test? Miss
Fine
Bell,
with
you've
me.
been. Hey,
I I could only hear you talking, Miss McCall. I couldn't hear everybody else.
okay, I'm sorry, but we
That's
have
okay.
a test coming up, okay, for 1 through 5. You hear me?
Test.
Okay. So, Miss Kathy, do you have the workbook in the worksheet? I mean, the workbook in the book. Let me know. Let me see,
You
because I
mean
know
me?
Miss Kathy is in the chat. I'm trying to make sure
Oh,
she also have everything we have, because she can hear us, but she has to. I want her to answer me, make sure she have everything before I give that test, so she
Me
can
too.
participate in the test. Hey, Kathy, let me know if you got the workbook. I know I sent it to you. Yes, I did. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you need to study for chapters 1 through 5, because we're going to have a test. I'm going to be sending you a test before we go into chapter 6. So between now and before Wednesday, I'll get you guys the test. Okay?
Okay.
So Can you open it up in your email? Okay, she said okay. Okay. So I'll be sending you guys that, and that'll be our first test because we hadn't had a test in a minute. And that's going to be chapters 1 through 5. And then we'll do at the end of this book, we'll do chapters 7 through 10. Is that right? Yeah, 7 through 10, because this has 10 chapters. I think. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think it has 10 chapters to it. Yeah. Chapter 10. Oops, you guys, I'm sorry. 10, 11. It has 11 chapters. I apologize. So yeah, so the next test we have is going to be 6 through 11. So that's about right. Okay. So be prepared for a test coming up for chapters 1 through 5, and I'll get that to you guys. So anybody have any last parting words before we leave? And Miss Francesca, I know you can't get with us until on Saturdays, but you can also, turn in your work with us in email, so it don't matter. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Anybody have any last words?
Well,
Anybody?
I enjoyed you ladies once again.
Great, great, great.
I enjoyed you ladies.
Yes, ma'am. I
Great.
enjoyed you too.
Miss Bell, you have anything? Miss Bell, she must be gone, but she's still there. She said she only can hear me. So y'all just know y'all got a test coming up, okay? I'll be sending it to you. If you get it in the email, check your emails and make
Yes,
sure you
ma'am.
look at your email. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here. I always say hanging out with us like this. Actually, it's not y'all hanging out. It's actually we having a good time doing the class. I love this. I love it. Wait till the next one. Ooh, wait till our next class. Ooh, the next book. It's already ready to roll. I'm excited. I am excited. I am excited. Okay, so you guys have a great evening. Take care, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Bye
All right.
bye.
Have a
Good night,
great evening.
everybody.
Good
Bye
Good
night.
night. Good night.